Okay, so just imagine for a second that your government suddenly orders a total nationwide blackout of a technology you use every single day. Now, this isn't the plot of some new spy thriller. It's exactly what just went down in Denmark with Bluetooth. And honestly, it shines a light on a threat that could be lurking right there in your own pocket.
So it really all starts with this kind of unsettling question, right? Could your headphones actually be spying on you? Well, according to the Danish government, the answer is a pretty alarming yes. And believe me, their response was swift and totally absolute.
So let's break this down. What exactly happened here? Well, back in early January 2026, Denmark drops this bombshell directive. It was as sweeping as it was sudden, a total nationwide Bluetooth blackout for every single one of its public officials. Yep, you heard that right. The country's military intelligence agency ordered literally everyone in public service, from the capital in Copenhagen all the way to Greenland, to shut down their Bluetooth. And get this, not just at work or on their work devices. We're talking completely off, period.
And you know, the scope of this order was just massive. It applied to pretty much everyone. Civil servants, police officers, military personnel, you name it. And it wasn't just work devices. Oh no, it covered professional and personal smartphones, laptops, tablets, even incredibly essential tech like hearing aids. And the craziest part, there were zero exceptions.
So, okay, this brings us to the million-dollar question. Why? I mean, why take such a drastic step against a technology that, let's be honest, most of us see as totally harmless? Well, the answer? It's a little scary. It lies in a hidden vulnerability, like a silent spy just waiting inside our devices.
And it turns out, the main culprit is a feature designed purely for convenience, Google's Fast Pair. You know what I'm talking about. It's what lets your Android phone quickly and easily connect to your headphones. But that super seamless connection, the one that requires almost no user approval, yeah, that's also what creates a massive potential security backdoor.
Okay, so how does an attack like this actually play out? Well, an attacker just needs to be within Bluetooth range of you. From there, they exploit a known flaw in a really common audio software development kit, and this lets them pair with a target's device completely silently, totally bypassing any kind of user notification. And boom, just like that, a standard pair of headphones becomes a remote listening tool.
And this, right here, illustrates the core fear. The report cited on radar.dk puts it about as bluntly as you can. Certain devices can be turned into covert listening tools. We're not talking about a theoretical possibility here. This is a documented, very real risk.
And here's what's truly chilling about this whole thing. You're not even safe if the device is inactive. Experts are warning that if your firmware is outdated, even a headset that you think is turned off, just sitting in your bag, could potentially be accessed and exploited.
But this whole situation isn't just about a simple tech flaw. Not at all. To really understand the urgency behind Denmark's decision, we have to look north. Because this is where a security vulnerability intersects with the incredibly high-stakes geopolitics of Greenland.
You see, Greenland isn't just some vast island of ice. It's an absolutely critical strategic asset. Its location is vital for NATO military operations in the Arctic, and it's sitting on a massive wealth of untapped natural resources. So you can imagine, securing communications in a place like this is a huge deal. It's a matter of national and international security.
And the timeline here is, well, it's pretty striking. Let's walk through it. In 2019, initial U.S. interest in Greenland really starts to emerge publicly. Then, in late December 2025, former President Trump revisits these claims, basically saying the region won't be secure until it's under U.S. control. And then what happens? Just a few weeks later, in January 2026, Denmark issues this massive, nationwide Bluetooth directive.
Now, it is really important to point out that the Danish government hasn't officially connected these dots themselves, but for international observers and security analysts, the timing is just impossible to ignore. A major security directive that comes right after renewed geopolitical pressure from a key ally, well, at the very least, you'd have to call it a remarkable coincidence.
And really, all of this reveals a much larger, more fundamental issue, not just for Denmark, but for all of Europe. It's a question of sovereignty in a digital age. And the question is this: who is truly in control of the technology that we all depend on?
So on one hand, you have this big goal of digital sovereignty, which is just the idea that a nation should be able to control its own digital infrastructure and its own data. But on the other hand, you have the cold, hard reality of tech dependence. Because the tools that European governments rely on every single day,
They are overwhelmingly designed and controlled by U.S. companies. I mean, just think about it. The operating systems from Apple and Google, the cloud services we all use, the software, the actual consumer hardware itself. This incredibly deep reliance raises some really tough questions about where our data is stored, who can access it, and whether there are potential security backdoors that national governments have zero control over.
And this isn't just some abstract political debate either. The Bluetooth ban has created serious, real-world problems. With no exemptions announced for critical tools like hearing aids and other medical devices, there are public servants who rely on this technology for their basic health and accessibility who are now facing a really significant challenge.
Which, brings us right back to that first simple question we asked at the beginning. Denmark's drastic measure, it's a massive warning sign for everyone. It forces us all to ask, in a world built on borrowed technology, where the hardware in our pockets and the software that runs it all comes from somewhere else, who really controls your devices?